I picked this major because circuits was my favorite part of physics in high school. Because I really like rockets.
Oh, really?
They're really cool. They go up in space and they have lots of fire.
I knew I wanted to do engineering, but I honestly flipped a coin for civil engineering, and I'm now almost 4 years in, so we're just going for it.
I'm from New Braunfels, Texas.
I'm from Austin, Texas.
And I'm from Houston, Texas.
哦，都是德州人。
I'm an electrical and computer engineering major.
I'm also an electrical and computer engineering major.
And I'm different, so I'm an aerospace engineering major.
I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm civil engineering.
I'm from Texas, Dallas specifically.
I'm an international student from Indonesia.
I'm a computer science major.
Same here, computer science.
Because I really liked coding in high school.
I picked this major because circuits was my favorite part of physics in high school. Because I really like rockets.
Oh,
They're really cool. They go up in space and they have lots of fire.
I knew I wanted to do engineering, but I honestly flipped a coin for civil engineering, and I'm now almost 4 years in, so we're just going for it.
I picked this major because it pays well.
Okay.
I picked it because I'm somewhat interested in computers, but also what he said.
For me personally, probably social economic status.
Okay.
And then expectation from family, and then hobby. Because originally I wanted to do physics, but my dad was like, if you do physics, you aren't going to get a job doing physics. Do something more practical. So instead I chose computer science because it's more practical, I guess.
Maybe expectation from family, because my parents, they're Asian. They're like, technology is the future, so do something in computer science. Social economic status and hobby.
We all really like what we do.
Yeah, I think I love what I do.
I feel like I picked it off hobby primarily, and then I wanted to make money, so social economic status, and I guess I don't really care what my family thinks. I make more money than them.
No, my family just always wanted me to do what I loved, and they were excited that this was it.
Really, my only pressure is like, my mom knows this is what I like to do, and so sometimes she has to be like, no, this is really still what you like to do, because engineering classes can be really hard. But it's more like a supportive pressure than you must do this. UT, you apply into the major for engineering, and so we picked all this, I think, like sophomore or junior, so our second or third year of high school, we picked out what we wanted to do, so.
Yeah, I kind of started, thinking about what my top contending majors were, and then tried to do some research or little like high school sort of mini internships to try to figure out if that was what I wanted to do in college.
Yeah, and I came to several like information sessions for each major here. I knew I wanted to go to UT, so I came to some different information sessions and talked to faculty members and narrowed it down to my major.
Yeah, I guess the best way to do that is, it ultimately comes down to you kind of have to do your own independent work on the side to see what do I enjoy. That might involve doing some projects, and you're maybe oh, I don't like this major, or I don't like that one. If you want, you can do research. You can reach out to professors and ask them, hey, I like your research or your work. Could I maybe come to your lab and see what you're doing? And most of the time, profs are kind of nerdy. They're yeah, sure, I love what I'm doing. Come stop by. And then they're I'm doing this research, and then you're oh, this is actually really boring. I don't like it. Don't tell them that, but just keep it in the back of your head, and then you'll know I don't like that anymore. And then you can just do that for many different things. It takes a little bit of work on your part. It'll save you a lot of trouble in the future.
Just like in high school, just take all the classes and be open to everything.
Yeah.
Even though you think you might not like it, just try them and see what interests you the most.
I have a brother who's doing a PhD in mechanical engineering, so I knew about engineering itself, but I was just trying to figure out which engineering I wanted to do, and it was either between mechanical or civil, and I flipped a coin.
I think college is definitely harder than I imagined, but I got used to it, and I think I love it as much as I thought I would.
A lot more time spent outside of class studying than I was expecting, but it's cool.
I think I enjoy it more, because a lot of the engineering professors are a little snarky, and they're more laid back than high school people, so it actually feels like you're in the adult world, kind of. Because you'll walk up just to a professor and just start talking to them, and they're I don't care. Just do it. Get out of my face. And I'm all right, cool, that's enough, I'll go. Kind of a thing, yeah.
No, it's very different. When I did CS in high school for all 4 years, It's just very different, like just the style of coding and like everything you do, like the assignments and like the prof. It's very different, not what I expected at all, but it's better in that way. It's a good kind of different.
College, they give you a lot more responsibility.
Yeah, true.
Like they don't tell you like the deadlines, you just have to do it yourself. So you get to learn to like do stuff from your own initiative.
I personally love my major, but I do think that if you don't like your major, then that is kind of sad because you're stuck in that career path for the rest of your life. So I think making the change to a different major that you will like is good to do early on in college and not graduate with a degree that you're not going to enjoy.
Yeah, I think once you realize that like you're not happy in your major, hopefully you will be, hopefully that doesn't happen, but I think once you realize you're unhappy, making a switch is definitely an important thing to do.
I think sometimes, as long as you find coming into college like the area that you're interested in, there is some flexibility of like movement around where you kind of end up. A lot of people come here and they have like a specific type of engineering they pick, and they may find that like, I know a lot of people who go into like civil find that they actually are more into like the architectural and the environmental side of that, and they can go shift into those. Not so much sure about other majors, but I imagine there's a lot more flexibility.
Yeah, I think if you're in engineering and you realize that like you love your history classes and wish that that's what you were doing all the time, like you should definitely make that switch. Yeah. Yeah.
I think for other people it might be. I know I have a love-hate relationship with my major. Like I 75% hate it, but then I also 25% love it. And I think it's also just in college you don't get the actual exposure that you need in your degree. And I mean, you can always come back to college, always do something else. Like just because you have a degree doesn't mean you have to go into that career field, because you'll learn things that are like easily versatile between fields. So I'm not worried.
Back when I was in high school, yeah, I thought it was a really big problem. I was like, if I don't like this major and I've wasted a bunch of money and oh no, this is like the end of the world, and I'm gonna go into a job I don't like and be miserable, and then I'm stuck with this job for the rest of my life and I'm gonna hate it. But the reality is like, if you don't like something, you can just change majors and do something else, switch up. A lot of students here, at least, they just like, they change a major 2 or 3, even 4 times sometimes before they figure out what they really like to do. And like, it'll cost you in the short term, like time and money, but like in the long term, when you're actually doing something you enjoy, it pays off in that sense.
Yeah, I think changing majors is not too hard from what I've heard in UT, and you can still like take courses after graduating on like other stuff that might interest you.
She already has a job.
Yeah, I'm going to be working for a engineering consulting and design firm, and I'm happy with the salary that I'll be making.
And I'm going to go be working at NASA. So I'm going to be getting paid a little bit less because it's government, but I just absolutely love what I do there. People there are so cool, so it makes it worth it.
Hopefully easy. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm picking this major. Yeah, I hope that I can have a relatively good job. And recently, because of COVID and everything, things have been moving online. So many people have been working from home. Fingers crossed I can just like stay home and make money without having to like, go to the office. I can just do work in my pajamas, that kind of thing. I don't, hopefully at least, fingers crossed.
I mean, okay, the one thing that I'm working towards per se is I want a 1-bedroom, financially stable, and a cat. And that's like, I don't care what I do, that's what I want. Like my lifestyle goals.
I would not put so much pressure on myself my first year, because college is hard and you are not the only person that thinks it's hard. So try not to stress too much about it. You will get used to college and it will get easier, I think.
Yeah, I think absolutely, just like knowing that like what happens like first semester freshman year like does not determine how the rest of your college experience is gonna look. If it's not as seamless as you were expecting, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I think also just telling myself to chill out a little bit more in middle school, because stuff from middle school does not matter anymore, and I was always so stressed about that.
Okay, so I was here for 1 semester my freshman year, and then I took a year off, and then this is my 2nd semester back, but I'm like already a senior. I think I would take this like year off before I came to college, so then I was like consistently in, because it was very hard transferring from like working full-time and being like a full-blown adult to coming back, and my finances were different, my time management was different. That was probably like rough, but that's probably the only thing I changed.
Me personally, maybe this is bad advice, but I would say like don't try as hard when you're like in middle school and high school. Definitely study very hard and get into the best university that you can, obviously, right? But back when I was like in high school, I spent like a lot of time focusing on like my GPA and like my SAT score, ACT score. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I could have. I'm gonna say, you know, just don't do your studies and like barely pass your classes. You know, still try and get A's and everything. But once you grow up and you look back, you realize that wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was. I don't regret trying hard and, you know, studying a lot. But looking back, I would say just, you know, spend a little bit more time with your friends, a little bit less time, a little bit.
Just cherish every moment because it's not gonna last forever. Yeah. Have fun with your friends. Maybe be less lazy and procrastinate less, and also drink more milk to be taller.